Hope you all are doing well and staying safe. Welcome back to yet another video of the Football Mania to bring you all the latest news and insights from the world of football. For so many days, we have spoken about how women's football has been on the rise, the national team has been performing well, and there have been some really good upcoming players coming through the ranks and proving their mettle at the national level. And as we all know, if there is one competition in which India, be it the men's team or the women's team, has been doing exceedingly well, it is the SAFF Championship. This is a championship in which all the smaller ranked teams play in Southeast Asia. You have the likes of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, you have Nepal, you have Maldives, and this is just a tournament in which India is expected to win. And at the moment, what the Indian women's national team is doing is just like what Manchester City have been doing for so many of their opponents. In their first two games of the matches, they have been performing really well. In their opening fixture, they defeated Pakistan. Yes, it is not an India versus Pakistan in the Cricket World Cup. It is in the SAFF Women's Championship held at the Dashrath Stadium in Nepal. It was a convincing 3-0 win. Most of the key players like Dangme Grace, even if you take the likes of Aditi Chauhan, if you look at Asha Lata Devi and even Dalima Chibber, everyone were playing, and this is a good sign going forward. And just yesterday, the head coach Suren Chhetri was talking about how these players need to be as a well-knit group. They need to be cohesive, they need to understand their roles and responsibilities and how this team can progress forward. And if there was any doubt about this national team's performance, well, you should have seen the match yesterday against Maldives. It was an absolute thrashing of Maldives by 9 goals to nil, where Anju Tamang scored 4 goals. Yes, it is not Barcelona versus Huesca. This is India playing Maldives, and India was expected to rout them. But the manner in which the performance was convincing was just exceptional. This was a clinical performance from start to finish. There was not even a single player in the Indian team who put their foot wrong, and everyone were really up for the fight. And yes, people may say that it is only Maldives, it is anyway ranked much lower than India. There are so many teams which have been playing brilliantly, but sometimes when they come up against these minnows, the going gets really tough because all these minnows like to play a deep low block, and sometimes they just frustrate you. And in this case, right from the first whistle, India were on the front foot. And by half time, I think it became 3-0, and it was just a very big mountain to climb for Maldives. And I'm just trying to understand what Suren Chhetri must have told these players. Yes, you can say that it is just the SAFF championship where all the lesser ranked teams are playing. But if you look at the performance, the way the team held the possession of the ball, the way they were distributing, the way there was a clear transition which was very fluid between defense to attack and attack to defense was quite smooth. And if you look at the entire team, the most prominent players like Anju Tamang and Dangme Grace were really consistent, and there were some really exceptional performances even by the likes of Asha Lata Devi and Priyanka Devi. And these two players have been really key for India's attack. And if you look at the way India builds up from the back, there is a lot of composure on the ball. Most of the players don't look flustered by the opposition, by the scenario, and everything looks so pleasing on the eye. That is something which I have craved to see for so many years. And if you look at just this team as a whole, they are just so confident on the ball. Even when they are without the ball, you can see that they have a structure in place. Just the front two try to trigger a press, and there is not much gap between the attacking front three and the middle three, and obviously the defense is very very compact, and they play as a unit. Even when the ball goes on the left, the right back knows exactly where the right back should position himself or herself, and that is somewhere I feel that Suren Chhetri deserves a lot of credit because it is very, very easy to get carried away. And just by this occasion of playing the SAFF Women's Championship, I think the Indian team is, putting their head down. They're focusing on each and every match, and they're really training hard in the training pitch. And kudos to the team, kudos to the staff, kudos to all the sports science support, which has been working brilliantly well. And I have to say that, at the moment, if you look at the men's team and the women's team looks much more solid. It looks as if, even if they're playing the likes of Japan, or even if they're playing the best team just in Asia, I feel that they can do a brilliant job. It is not just about the tactics, but it is more about the desire to win, the desire to learn, and the desire to compete on any given day. If you have these three attributes as a team, be rest assured that 95% out of 100 you will be successful. And this team at the moment has all the attributes of being a successful team. So, in my opinion, yes, they have qualified for the semi-finals, and mostly they'll be playing Bangladesh, and it is a clear statement win for India. And Suren Chhetri, after the match, he was talking about, how Bangladesh has been doing really well. The mind games have already started, and at the moment, this team looks really comprehensive and clinical. There are no, I would say, defensive loopholes which anyone can pinpoint at the moment and say that, this is a defensive frailty in this national team. There are a lot of things which still we can work on in terms of how we distribute the ball. Sometimes the decision making is a bit, 50-50, and most of these players sometimes can succumb under pressure. But if you even look at the average age of these players, it is roughly 23 or 24, and that gives a good sign moving forward. There are still things where, tactically these players need to understand what is their role and responsibility. But now that they are in the semi-final, they have a good chance to win the SAF Women's Championship, and with this increase their ranking in the FIFA Women's ranking, because at the moment I think they're still 56 in the world, and if they win the SAF Women's Championship, I think they have a big chance to move further up the table. So guys, 9-0 is a resounding victory against Maldives. Let's not get too carried away, but I just feel that this team has everything whatever a team desires. Please let me know what are your thoughts about the current Indian women's national team. Who do you think are the standout players, and how do you think them faring in future competitions? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and if you liked this video, please do not forget to hit the like button and share it amongst your network. And the football mania is going to be on a roll. There is going to be a lot of content even though the Premier League is suspended. So if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, stay safe and take care.